Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about another one of Theo Wanne's great mouthpieces, which is the Brahma for alto saxophone. Now, I fell in love with the Brahma on my baritone saxophone. I ended up trying it on tenor and loving it, and now I'm actually playing it on both alto and soprano. I really like the way the Brahma performs. It's surprisingly dark. I mean, when you look inside and you see the size of the baffle, you might think this is going to be a really aggressive mouthpiece, but it turns out it's very dark, it's very warm, and it allows for an extreme amount of tone shaping. So if you're really into kind of a more vintage sound, you want to get your Johnny Hodges or your Charlie Parker thing going, this mouthpiece can really do it. But it also has enough beef to be able to play lead alto in a big band or in a more contemporary setting where you really need to project through the ensemble. I've been playing on the 7 on the Brahma because I've found that for the Brahma, the tip openings are a little more conservative than other brands of mouthpieces. And so on the Van Doren V16, for example, I was playing on a 6 for quite a while, but the 7 just feels a little bit better in my mouth. So the curve on the Theo Wanne Brahma is a little bit shorter, so that's the distance it goes from the tip to where it becomes flat. And so because of that, the slightly larger tip opening kind of helps even it out. I really dig the sound of the Brahma. I had sort of missed on some of my other mouthpieces the more open, sort of airy sound you can get with some alto setups, and I think this really gives it back to me. It's a huge sound. It fills up the room, but not necessarily with volume. It just fills it up with just good quality sound. Using the Diodario Jazz Selects over the Van Doren reeds lately, I feel like for the Theo Wanne it just kind of fits a little bit better. On this video I was using a 3 medium unfiled, but I'm thinking about going down to a 3 soft unfiled. I think the filed ones are a little too bright for me, but I think the unfiled gives it a little bit more core, but the tip strength on the medium is maybe just a little too hard, and I don't want to have to work so hard with my embouchure. Now, one of the things I love about this compared to, like, say, a Meyer or something, is this one doesn't kind of have such immediacy. And I know it's pretty darn nice to have a mouthpiece that just punches out, but when I'm playing in a combo setting, for example, I want the ability to sort of blend into the background. I don't need to be lead alto all the time. And I think this mouthpiece really gives that to me, as well as it gives me the ability to really tone shape, bend pitches, and kind of decide how I want to project my own sound. Now, as an alto player, I don't have a real bright, edgy sound like, say, the Eric Marienthals of the world, so this one really works for me, but I can definitely see how somebody who's really into that kind of really contemporary sound might be looking for something a little bit different than I'm looking for. Theo Wanne's do come with their own branded ligatures, which do work great, but recently I started using a new brand of Rovner, the LGX, which I have found to be just amazing. They have great response, the sound really moves, and you really can't break it up. You can't push too hard to where you get to a limit. It's a really clever mouthpiece design, actually. Was at a conference with George, who's the owner and the one who makes all their ligatures, and he really showed it to me, and I just fell in love with the way it works on these mouthpieces. So you can't really go wrong, but like in my previous reviews of Theo Wanne's, I found the darker ligatures help a little bit, because I feel like the mouthpiece can get a little bit out of control. So it's nice to have something that holds me back a little bit, because I tend to make mouthpieces sound a little brighter than they are, so having something that kind of tames me really is kind of a handy thing. All in all, like I said, I'm stupendously happy. I will say, from personal experience, when I first tried this mouthpiece, I wasn't thrilled with it. It really took me a little time to get used to it. So I'll say for anybody who orders one of these to try it, give it a day or two. Don't just kind of assume, well, the first time it didn't work. I did have to change my embouchure a little bit, and it's actually a little more reminiscent of my tenor embouchure than of my alto embouchure. I used to play on a New York Brothers Theo Wanne, which is a little brighter and a little more aggressive of a mouthpiece, and it allowed me to play with that more traditional lead alto sort of embouchure. But when it comes to using the Brahma, I really had to back off a little bit and play with a little bit more of that open tenor embouchure that you might think of if you play a lot of, especially that big, husky tenor sound. And so, again, give it a chance before you just say, oh, this isn't going to work for me. Like I said, once I got used to it, it was definitely the way to go. Check out my Patreon page and check out the giveaway. Remember, I'm going to be giving away your choice of a jazz or concert Theo Wanne Essentials for alto or tenor. And remember, the big things is you got to like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then go be a Patreon subscriber. The best way to let me know that you're on all of those things is to go ahead and put a comment down there and says, I'm in. And that way I'll know that you're ready to go. And like I said, I'm going to be doing the drawing on April 1st. So you got a little bit of time here, so make sure you're checking out the rest of the videos on the channel. And if you're looking for help with anything from jazz composition to Dorico, I've got lots of great videos, and I'm going to be putting up more great content in my Patreon page for those of you who are looking for just a little bit extra. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.